Is social media worth it anymore?
Follow us on Instagram to find out.
Well, I'm Matt.
And I'm Carter.
And welcome to it. It's kind of a gray area.
Welcome back, folks.
Yep. Now, you may recognize us from other episodes of the show or from our Instagram account.
Yes, that is also out there.
I mean, why do you follow that but not the show?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Which a lot of you are doing, and I'm confused by.
So am I. Now, we do have some pretty awesome Instagram posts.
Sure.
I post most of them myself, so I'm a little biased.
You post all of them yourself.
Yeah, I do. So I've mentioned this on previous episode with the Illuminati. One of the big...
You released an episode with the Illuminati?
Yeah. Oh, it was a secret one, though, so it didn't get aired.
Right.
But it was released and then removed by the Grandmaster. It
was released on the secret social media that you can only access through 5G towers.
Science. I get a lot of requests for me to join the Illuminati on Instagram. Right. For us, really. I just don't pass it along to Carter.
I just find so bizarre. Yeah, because you know I'm already a part of it.
Yeah, you're good.
I would assume they're just like trolling you. Like they're getting messages about the show and they're like, I'm just going to say the Illuminati to mess with this guy. And that's what they all sound like.
No, like they're really freaking serious. They're like, hello, fellow future brother. Here's all the information. Our Grandmaster Father Wizard level 5. I have no idea. I
think that's a KKK thing.
Really?
Grandmaster Wizard level 5. Or a rap name.
That sounds like a KKK thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. We're not fans. I'm just, I don't want to offend anyone. Not big fans of the KKK.
I don't have a problem offending the KKK. Hey, Superman took down the KKK. And if we want to be opposed to Superman, we're all going to end up with some lasers through our skulls. So
that's true. Yeah, he's gone dark lately. Yeah, so I get a lot of requests for that online, which is super annoying. But I also we get some really sweet stuff from some of you guys, like just saying how much you enjoy the show.
Here's a gift basket from the Illuminati.
Gosh darn it, got us again. But like just how like, oh, all right, time to binge season 2. We're like, oh, really? Thank you.
Right.
And you watch this every morning, and which is weird because it's only Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. But yeah, like that kind of stuff we really appreciate, guys.
Yeah.
But then we get the Illuminati, and we're like, ah.
Yeah, there are definitely pros and cons about social media, which I think we can all recognize.
Yes.
It's cool. Like, I have friends of mine that I used to work with, friends that I used to go to school with, and we all stay in touch through, like, Facebook Messenger. I don't really post much on Facebook or look at posts on Facebook, just because at this point, it's so saturated with people I'm not interested in keeping up with.
Yeah.
Because it's become a social norm of, like, if you know someone or you've met them more than, like, 5 times, you are friends on Facebook. And it's led to, at this point, instead of when Facebook started, where it was just, like, your group of friends, and you could say whatever because it was only between you. You could post whatever because it was only between you.
Simple days.
To now, you're friends with your mom, you're friends with your grandparents, you're friends with your boss from work, you're friends with that guy you met at a conference. It's basically just like walking out into a park now, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's not as like close-knit or personal, I feel like.
Well, no, it is like walking out into a park, but the park is filled with everyone you've ever met more than once.
God, that sounds like a nightmare.
That's pretty much it. And you're just like, how do I know Barry? Barry F? I don't know where. Oh, got the supermarket. He bags my groceries.
Yeah.
That's how I know him. Why am I friends with him?
Yeah.
I'm not,
but
I am.
It's also weird because you have friends where it's like, oh, I went to preschool with this guy. And you look now and it's like, he is really into taxidermy and Illuminati conspiracies involving 5G towers and gay frogs.
Greg.
What happened to this guy?
Yeah, Greg. Whew.
Yeah. Back when I remember you, we just enjoyed crayons together. And now you're this. But then like the other downside with social media, it's been linked to depression in people and making that worse.
Yeah, like online bullying.
Well, that, but also just the fact that, like, you work, like, a low-end job, you live in, like, a crappy place, and, like, I'm not insulting anyone. I've been that person several times for many years.
No, if they're insulted, then they're acknowledging that they live in a crappy place.
Yeah, if it hurts, and maybe it's true.
Yeah.
But like you live that life, and then you go on to Instagram and you see people like flying all over the world and eating amazing food and like taking these pictures in incredible places. And it's easy to look at that and be like, everyone has an awesome life but me. But that's like 3% of their life, and the rest of it is just as crappy as yours.
Yeah.
So it leads to people feeling isolated and feeling like they're not living up to some sort of standard. So that can be problematic. But at the same time, it does let you share things with the world, and it lets you catalog your experiences. Facebook has this like time capsule thing where they'll show you like a picture you posted exactly 5 years ago today.
I love that.
Yeah, sometimes I like it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, God, why did you make me see that?
Delete forever.
Right.
Do not remind me next year that this happened 7 years ago.
Here's a picture of you 3 years ago when you were working out all the time. Like, I'm going to put my donut down now. One interesting thing with it, too, is like pre-social media and pre-cell phones, like, you were just out in the world living your life. Like, the people around you were the people you were talking to. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, it lets you be connected to everyone at any time, anywhere in the world, which is good in a horror movie scenario, but sometimes annoying for your day-to-day life if you're in the middle of something and you get contacted and you don't want to answer it, but you have to for some reason.
It's too much information. That's what it is. Like, even if you had, like, 10,000 friends and you're close to all 10,000 friends, you do not have the
doing that?
Yeah, I know. Wow, what is your secret to maintaining friendships? I struggle at like 6.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta call. I can't think of a friend. Glenn. There he is. Glenn. That's the person I was trying to think of. I gotta call Glenn. It's been 2 weeks. But yeah, it really helps you connect and, not just maintain relationships, but grow.
Yeah. It's that's another point I wanted to touch on, and I'm glad you brought it up. Is we're on YouTube predominantly. Mm-hmm. Some of our stuff gets put on Facebook, and some of it gets put on Instagram. But we're here. This is home. Like, we may go other places, but we always come back here.
Yeah.
It's where we keep our beds, literally, in this room.
Yep.
But, yeah, without Instagram, it would have been really hard to grow the following that we currently have and reach people who we don't personally know.
Yeah.
And haven't, through a friend of a friend, shared things. Like, it lets you market, which is also a really annoying thing about social media, but also kind of a necessary evil. It's a toss-up. But yeah, I mean, it's such a complicated issue. It's actually really, really hard for me to know where I stand on this.
All right, so let's rock, paper, scissors this thing to death.
Do we even know what our opinions are? I haven't settled on mine. What's your take on this?
I'm gonna say it is worth it. Just because a lot good comes out of it. Annoyances come out of it, but personal connections and growth come out of it. And I think personal connections and growth are more important than annoyances.
I'm going to agree with you on that. Like, the invention of the telephone was revolutionary, but it was also the invention of the telemarketer. So, pros and cons. But ultimately, better to have a phone and get called by people you don't want to talk to than to have no phone at all. So, yeah, I'm going to say it's worth it, too. It sucks. There's bad things about it. Sometimes I wish it would go away, but ultimately, it's here to stay, and it serves a purpose. So, yeah, I think it's worth it, too.
Yep.
But I very, very, very reluctantly say that. So I'm going to say, for the sake of the rock, paper, scissors, that no, it's not worth it. It's just trash.
All right, I'm going to say it is.
All right, well, we both know our answers. We know what sides we're taking.
Yep.
Let's just go ahead and rock, paper, scissors this thing out.
Let's do this.
So like a Kalima.
That's exactly what was going through my head.
Right.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
By the way, don't watch that with a 6-year-old child. I'm still scarred.
Make sure they're 3 or under so they don't remember it, or older than 10.
Right.
Okay, let's do this.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, 3 times in a row.
God.
I still won, but I can't believe you did rock 3 times in a row.
I thought, from the look in your eyes, I thought you were going to go with me on that and do rock again.
I really felt it, actually. I was like, I bet he's going to do a 3rd rock.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. That's boring.
But, so, it's worth it wins out. The social media is, the universe feels that social media is worth it. So, Who are we to deny the universe?
Yep, so head over to Instagram and check out the universes page.
Sure. All right, so today's Would You Rather does not have to do with social media, but it does have to do with someone very near and dear to all of our hearts. Someone who I think we can all admit has touched us in a significant way that has changed us over the years and opened our eyes to the possibility of a world capable of amazing and wonderful things. Tony Stark.
Oh, thought we were going with Granddad. But yes, Tony Stark.
Tony Stark, or as he's sometimes known, Tony Stank. You know, we're from the coffee cup.
No.
Oh, I guess you're not a fan of the Marvel Universe then.
Oh, I missed it.
But people who have ever seen a Marvel movie might remember that there was a bit where someone picked up coffee and the barista wrote Tony Stank instead, and then everyone was like, oh, we're calling him that from now on.
I missed it.
You know what I'm talking about. You've just forgotten.
I did. Is it one of the Iron Man movies?
No, it was like Civil War. It was like a crossover movie, like Avengers or Civil War or something.
Oh, I'm going to look that up.
Yeah. So, would you rather be as smart as Tony or as rich as Tony? Now, if you're as rich as him, you're your current intelligence. If you're as smart as him, I can't guarantee you're ever going to be rich.
Well...
Now, because keep in mind, as brilliant as Tony is, and you might think like, oh, he invented all of this stuff, like he could totally build whatever and sell it and make millions. Keep in mind, he could only build the Iron Man suit because this guy's a freaking billionaire who has an entire fabrication workshop in his basement with robots that belong in like an automobile assembly line.
Okay, all right.
Like,
so
he was able to just type in some stuff in his computer, walk out of the house, and his house built him the Iron Man suit. Imagine how much harder it would be if you have your current resources, even if you know how to build it. Like, he had to take materials out of a military missile to make the arc reactor. Are you going to come across like a military missile and build yourself an arc reactor?
No, mine's too old to use.
Yeah, you may be brilliant, but you will not have the resources to accomplish what he did. But maybe you could use your brilliance to find some way to, but you're not going to be on the same level.
Okay, so I have my answer right away.
Really?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely as smart as Tony Stark.
Okay.
First off, smarter. But you can build smaller things to make money and get patents to grow an empire, or like grow your finances to where you can then have all of that stuff to build the Iron Man suit and all the resources and beyond.
I would go with the same thing, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go to with the money, and that would surprise me, but I thought that.
No, see, my whole thing, I feel like what has shaped me greatly throughout my life and my love for learning is those were always the characters I was the most interested in. In any show, there's always one action guy, one love interest, one nerdy sidekick, and one brilliant genius as a minimum, and then usually a token minority character. That's like the makeup of every show ever made and almost every movie ever made. That's like an action adventure sci-fi thing.
That's the rhythm of it.
Yes. So, and my favorite character was never like the lead hero. I was always blown away by the brilliance of like the genius sidekick character, which from a very young age being exposed to that led me to be fascinated with like reading and learning and discovering. So I've always prioritized that over anything else. And keep in mind, if you're as smart as him, it also means you're a child prodigy. Because Tony didn't just like grow up, go to college, get really good grades. They mention at one point that he built a combustion engine when he was like 9 or 10 years old. So he was like wicked smart very early on. So that you got a good head start on everyone else. And as far as like the disadvantage I was talking about, you would still get into Harvard. If you could graduate high school when you're like 9 or 10, you've got a pretty good story for Harvard to want to pick you up, and that sets you up for success. So, yeah, I think you could make something of yourself. I don't think you might. It would be tough to accomplish the same things as Tony Stark, though. But that's our show for today, guys. We found out that social media, as horrible as it can be, is here to stay and maybe for the best of ways. I tried to make it rhyme. I didn't do it. And then also that we would both like to be smart. So if you guys like today's episode, there's a lot more out there to check out. We have talked about Iron Man before. We've probably made jokes about social media before. The point is, it's all out there, and it's waiting for you to go watch and waiting for you to share on social media. Please.
But before you check out our other episodes, make sure you comment, like, and push that subscribe button floating right there so you don't miss out on future ones.
Yep, and never friend your boss on Facebook.
Oh, rookie mistake. Ring the notification bell.
Tweet bird calls to attract a mate.
And never eat a meal without posting it on Instagram.
Don't do it.
We're looking for it. And as always,
IKAGA. Yep.
Yay!